Imagine stepping off the curb into traffic and your feet freeze mid-step. Cars are moving, the light is green, but your body has hit pause. Well, that's freezing of gait, and it's one of the scariest symptoms of Parkinson's because it can happen anywhere, in public, at home, in the middle of a crowd. Well, today we're going to break it down, why it happens, how it feels, and the tricks that actually help me get unstuck. And stick with me because I got a Bryce-ism about freezing that you won't forget.
Welcome to Living with Parkinson's. The good, the bad, and the reality. Real talk, real life, real community with Bryce Perry. Let's begin.
Well, welcome back to Doing Life Today. I'm Bryce, and this is Living with Parkinson's, the good, the bad, and the reality. And today we're going to talk about one of those Parkinson's symptoms that people outside of our world often don't understand, freezing of gait. Now, let me tell you, it's one of the strangest things that I've ever experienced with this disease. It's not tripping. It's not stumbling. It's your brain saying go and your feet saying nope, not today. So I want to give you some examples because this isn't something that you forget, right? At home, it's often doorways. Carmen will be halfway through a door and look back, and there I am, 1 foot, halfway lifted, completely frozen. I look like a statue, like someone hit pause on a DVD player. Remember DVD players? Anyway, another time I was in the kitchen carrying a coffee cup, and I froze mid-step. Now, you'd think that would be harmless, but no. Coffee all over the floor because my hands kept going while my feet didn't. And then there are the public ones. I froze in the middle of a Walmart once in front of a soup aisle. I must have stood there for 20 seconds staring at tomato soup. People probably thought I was reading labels or just trying to be really, really indecisive. Instead, I was panicking. And then there was this hockey arena. Took my son to a game, crowded bleachers, and I froze halfway up the stairs. My son's yelling at me, Dad, hurry up. And I wanted to shout back, buddy, if I could, I would. It was awful. But now, we can laugh now. In the moment, brutal. So let me throw this one to you very early. Where does freezing hit you the hardest? Doorways, stairs, crowds? Comment below because your story could help somebody else. And I really would like to know that I'm not alone. Or maybe it happens in places that I didn't mention. Wherever it is, let me know. So why does this happen? Well, Parkinson's basically scrambles the signals. The brain says walk, but the message doesn't get delivered properly. A doctor once explained it to me. It's like an orchestra. The brain's the conductor, the body's the orchestra, and normally everyone's in sync. But with Parkinson's, the conductor drops the baton and the violins are lost. Here's how I explain it. It's like having dial-up internet in a Wi-Fi world. You're cruising along, everything's fine, and then suddenly that and everyone else is standing there wondering why you're stuck. And here's the serious part. Freezing isn't just frustrating. It's dangerous. Research shows that about 30% of people with Parkinson's who fall regularly have freezing to blame. So let's talk about what actually helps, because this is where we take back some control. So the first thing you can do is there's visual cues. This one works wonders. I step over cracks on the sidewalk, right? Floor tiles, even shadows. Carmen has literally put her foot down in front of me so that I had something to aim for. It's like tricking your brain into thinking you're stepping over something. So I'm always thinking of those cracks, even if they're not there, always thinking of the cues that I have to step over. Another thing you can do is shifting your weight. Right? If I can't go forward, I rock side to side. It looks like I'm warming up for a slow dance, but that little movement usually resets things. And once I froze in line at the coffee shop, and people must have thought I was swaying to the music, only I couldn't hear anything. Whatever works, it works. Rhythm. Counting out loud or humming a tune. I'll do 1, 2, 3 step, right? Or I'll hum something ridiculous. One time I was stuck I was stuck in an airport walkway, and I started humming that Stayin Alive, do-do-do-do. And not only did it get me moving, but the guy behind me joined in, right? So there we were, two strangers in an impromptu Bee Gees concert, just so I could keep walking. It was actually in the last video I touched on this a little bit, and someone in the comments put something that they start singing that these boots were made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Excuse the singing. Excuse the singing. No bad comments, please. Or if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. I wouldn't, it'd be crazy, but do it anyway. But, and people were commenting. It was getting a lot of people were reading that and going, good one. It's an easy thing to remember. And what I like about it is, these boots were made for walking, like his feet were made for walking. And one of these days they're going to walk all over you. And I think of Parkinson's when I think of that. Like, you can't stop me, right? You can stop me. You can slow me down, but you can't stop me. How about that? Okay. Another thing you can do is technology. Laser canes that project a red line on the floor, or metronome apps that give you the beat, right? Or even a music playlist, right? I've heard people say they use marching band music to keep moving. Personally, if I get really stuck, I'll use the metronome on my phone. It's like borrowing a rhythm from outside when your brain won't provide one. So if I can't get that humming to Stayin Alive, I'll say to my phone, Siri, play Stayin Alive. And I get, and I start to move. And here's a practical tip you can try today. Put a strip of painter's tape on the floor at home and practice stepping over it. I know this sounds crazy, but it trains your brain to respond to cues, right? It's like Pavlov's dog. Ring the bell, eat, ring the bell, feed the dog, ring the bell, feed the dog. So it responds to cues. Your brain actually does. So here's my process when I freeze. I stop. I take a breath. I rock side to side. I find or imagine a line. I count it out, and I step. And if all else fails, Siri, play some Bee Gees. Well, if you've ever frozen in public, hit the like button so that I know that I'm not alone. And I'm just looking over at my phone, and it is literally playing the Bee Gees. So I guess it was listening to me. All right. But here's what makes freezing terrifying. It doesn't just happen in safe spaces. It can hit at the worst possible time. And I'm going to share probably the scariest moment freezing ever hit me. And I'm going to share that in just a minute. And trust me, it's one that I'll never forget. But a quick question before I get to that. Has your partner or friend ever called you out on freezing before you even noticed? Share it in the comments, because those stories are very, very powerful. And I just would love to know that. So, the scariest freezing moment for me. Okay, I was crossing the street. The light turns green. I step off the curb, and suddenly I'm frozen. Off the curb. Cars are waiting, people are rushing, and I'm stuck mid-step. Now, nothing, and I mean nothing, makes your heart pound, like realizing the world doesn't stop just because you did. That was so terrifying and so frightening. And I just thank goodness there wasn't somebody racing by, because it can be very, very dangerous. Another one, escalators. If you've ever frozen at the top of an escalator with people piling up behind you, you know that panic. Carmen once reached out and she tugged me forward, like just in time. And it was so close. Like I literally was going to go, like, it was crazy. And then, you know what? There's even like little everyday ones, like freezing at the bottom of the stairs at night, when I just want to go to bed. I can hear Carmen yelling, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yep, just, enjoying the view from step one." Sometimes you laugh and sometimes you just want to scream. And that's the reality. Freezing isn't just inconvenient. It's embarrassing. It's frustrating. And sometimes it's very dangerous. But here's the truth. Freezing of Gait might stop us in our tracks, but it doesn't stop us from living. The key is learning those triggers, practicing the strategies, and reminding yourself that you're not alone. And with that, here is today's Bryce-ism. With Parkinson's, sometimes your feet freeze, but your spirit doesn't have to. Keep finding ways to move forward, even if it's one small step at a time. Well, there you go. If this video connected with you, hit that like button, so more people can see the real side of Parkinson's, and share it with somebody who needs to hear it today. And tell me in the comments, what's the strangest or the scariest place that you've ever frozen? Doorways, stairs, traffic, your stories mean more to this community than you realize. And if you're looking for a deeper connection, check out the Inner Circle. It's a private community where we talk live on Zoom. We share stories, we share posts, and remind each other that we're not alone. And the link is in the description below. And until next time, keep showing up, keep being real, and you keep doing life, and you keep doing it today.
Parkinson's may be part of your life, but it doesn't get to define it. Thanks for listening to Living with Parkinsons, the good, the bad, and the reality. If this episode moved you, helped you, or reminded you you're not alone, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Want to go deeper? The Inner Circle is waiting. Monthly Zoom calls, 24/7 community, and a direct line to Bryce. You'll find the link in the show notes. Until next time, keep showing up and keep doing life today.